According to the FAO, nearly 800 million people around the world go to bed hungry every night. Many more are chronically malnourished. Every year, USAID provides about $2 billion in food assistance around the world to reduce hunger and malnutrition and assure that people everywhere, like the moms and children of the Bugaruna village in Uganda, have enough food at all times to live healthy, productive lives.
Okwonsya omwana wanje nayonsya gye kutandika n'ekiro ky'okubanza nayeza kumuzaala.
After training them, they started on projects like backyard gardens. Then they planted greens, fruits, poultry. All of which were focusing on fighting malnutrition and anemia.
Hereza emondi nataburamu n'ebinyobwa abakuba naribamu n'ebyorobi ebishima kuba ntangisaho omwana kunkwijuka gye nibyo natandikise.
In 2010, USAID's Office of Food for Peace created the TOPS program to bring the highest quality information, knowledge, and promising practices to help food assistance programs become more effective and reach more people. TOPS is also connecting implementers, researchers, and donors to ensure that they share information and experiences with each other. Together, they have created a stronger and more well-connected global food security and nutrition community.
We were doing a lot of work in the field, but we weren't sharing that knowledge. We needed to have mechanisms by which we could learn from what each other was doing so that we could do a job better. So TOPS was created to shorten that distance between learning something and doing something by creating learning spaces that could bring the implementers together and the donor together to learn from one another. Then apply those lessons, those practices, those tools to the projects that were assisting vulnerable peoples in the world build better lives for themselves, their families, and their children.
The TOPS program improves nutrition and food security through technical capacity strengthening, the FSN Food Security and Nutrition Network, the knowledge sharing meetings, the Small Grants program, and its technical task forces.
Some task forces bring together experts to try and identify knowledge gaps, so through the core competencies or other avenues. Some just try and share knowledge between experts. Others put on events. So it kind of depends on the sector.
The task forces are great because it's a group of our peers within our community, and they have extensive experience in the field and technical knowledge. So we're able to draw upon that from the start of the TOPS program to help define and prioritize our work.
The TOPS program has been flexible and has adjusted its work to the demand from donors and implementers.
A couple of examples of this are the stakeholder consultations and also our theory of change workshops and trainings. In both cases, we recognized there was a deep need on the part of the implementing community, a deep desire for more information on these topics. We responded rapidly, reallocated resources and staff, and met that demand.
When Food for Peace required the theory of change has to be articulated, TOPS immediately started organizing a series of workshops, both in Washington, D.C. as well as in the field, to develop that capacity, to fill that gap, and developing better quality, more comprehensive theory of change.
One of the things that kept on being important for our programs in order to see ultimate impact on food security and livelihoods at the household level was integrating gender. So TOPS made a big difference by offering the implementing community the opportunity to influence how these programs are now conducted.
8 different pieces, but they're all interconnected.
The TOPS knowledge-sharing meetings provide opportunities for participants to exchange information, and the technical capacity strengthening workshops have reached hundreds of food assistance professionals from across the globe.
You get examples from different countries, different people showing you or telling you what works somewhere, so it really gives you the guts to maybe do something which is a little more better.
Having this meeting here in the region greatly benefits us in the way that we share a lot of common things between the East and Southern Africa. and that brings more people to participate in this particular meeting and to share more of what we can do within our context.
Train-the-trainer workshops use innovative activities to transfer knowledge, such as how to improve farming techniques to become more resilient and increase food supply.
I think what we're learning here is that there's so much farmers can do, and some of it is just in small tweaks in their farming systems to harvest water and to improve soil fertility. It's just been mind-boggling to see how much opportunity there is to do small changes that could have a big impact.
TOPS has advanced thinking and practice in underexplored areas of food security and nutrition programming through its Small Grants program.
So the TOPS Small Grants program funds grants between $50,000 and $100,000, and we've funded about 71 of them over the last 7 years, totaling $4 million to 32 different organizations, some big and some small. And they've used those resources to fund really innovative programs in the field.
The funding that we received from the TOPS Small Grant program, we were able to develop these 2 toolkits that are ready resources for people responding to needs in the field for 2 of the major areas that we would respond to in emergency nutrition. Without the funding, we wouldn't have been able to build the toolkits, and so people would be still doing what they had always done.
And thanks to the TOPS online knowledge hub, the FSN network, thousands of professionals, researchers, donors, and program implementers can stay up to date on the latest news and access more than 800 online resources.
So the FSN Network website is the online one-stop shop of our food security and nutrition community of practice. They can also look at the discussion forums and post questions on topics such as resilience, commodity management, gender, anything about food security and nutrition.
When I think about TOPS, I think about empowerment of the PVO community and particularly empowerment of our field staff.
For 7 years, the TOPS program has brought expertise and knowledge to food assistance practitioners around the world, strengthening their ability to be more effective in their efforts to end global hunger. And even as TOPS reaches its end, the food security and nutrition community pledges to stay strong and continue what started with TOPS to ensure mothers like Betty Turiantemba and her daughter have access to nutritious food for a healthier and brighter future.
Mwana wanjye ati nindeba atiso mwaka gumwe nindeba atine shonga aina magara marungi.
My hope for TOPS and the legacy that we would like to leave behind is that donors, practitioners, and the beneficiaries have learned to communicate in ways that they haven't before, that they can share that knowledge. And for the communities for which these projects are all intended, I would wish that our legacy has enabled them to respond more resiliently to shocks, and that they can build a stronger, more stable futures for themselves and for their children.
Gejo re utano